are welcome to Youth Empowerment Television Show on Pan-African TV. My name is Abna Bruni. I believe that you would agree with me that health is wealth. So anything pertaining to health should be on our priority list. But it's quite unfortunate that our trainees, our nursing trainees and our midwifery trainees feel sidelined. And they released them. They had a press release, and the heading of their press release is quite interesting to me. They said the government should stop playing chaskele with them. So we would find out why they believe so. I have the president here and I have the general secretary here. So after this break, you would know why they are telling the government to stop playing chaskele with them. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Hi, you are welcome back from that quick break. If you just tuned into Pan-African TV, this is Youth Empowerment Television Show, and my name is Abna Bruni. This afternoon, like I said before I went on the breather, we are talking to nursing trainees and midwifery trainees. So we are trying to find out from them why they are saying the government should stop playing chaskele with them. I have Mr. Baini Daniel Yao. He's the national president for Ghana Nurse Midwife Trainees Association, and Moses, he is the general secretary. Gentlemen, you are welcome.
Thank you, madam.
Okay, so before we even go to the chaskele aspect, which I'm very, very much interested in, I want us to talk about the association itself. Ghana National Nurses Association with midwifery, right? Yes. So I would like to start with the president, because you are the head of issues. The secretary has been writing a lot. So tell me about this association. How long has it been in existence?
The association has been in existence for quite long and quite a while. I think we are planning on our 29th annual Delegates Congress, I think this February.
29th?
Yes, and even with that, it's not every year. Sometimes we've had this kind of lapses that it does not be consistent. Sometimes a year or two pass. But so
you don't go for Congress?
Yeah, because of certain reasons. And so for us to be celebrating 29th Delegate Congress should tell you how old the association is with our existence. Yes, and we are on it. We are moving on.
Okay, and what are the aims and objectives of this association?
Okay, Ghana Nurse Midwife Trainees Association, GMTA. It's a student association, and it's a student association for all nurses and midwives in Ghana who have enrolled in the various health training institutions. Currently, we have over 80 health training institutions, both
in Ghana.
Yes, we have over 80 of them in Ghana. Yes, and it's made up of those from the public institutions and to some extent those from the private institution. We have Nabita College. They are a private institution. We have Royal Anne in Kumasi. They are also a private institution who are also affiliated to their our association. That's GMTA. Yes, and it's the official mouthpiece for the training nurses and midwife. I mean, those who are in school, and to some extent those who are doing their rotation, if the record serves me right. Yes.
The secretary is nodding in addition to you. So I want to find out from you, what should students who are affiliated or who are associated with this association, what should they expect from this body, students' body?
Actually, as the president said, the association is the motherboard for all those who are undergoing training and those who have completed and doing their rotational service. And then we stand as the mouthpiece of the association to fight for what is right for them in terms of their allowances and whatever that is necessary for their welfare. So anything relating to the service and their training, the mother association can fight for, and that is why we have been selected as executives to stand in times of challenges.
Wow, about 80 institutions.
Yes, a quick one to what my secretary said. We have core mandates. We have basically core mandates. One, we are concerned with their welfare. That is one.
With the students' welfare.
Okay. That is one. Two, issues about their discipline. It's our priority. and 3 issues about their academics. So basically, these 3 things are the key mandates of the association. And to some extent, we engage stakeholders to make sure that all these 3 core mandates are met. So stakeholders like the Ministry of Health, the COHETI, NMC, and all these agencies, we dialogue with them because we believe in a philosophy of dialogue and non-violence. So we sit with them.
That's Socratic.
Yes,
philosophy.
A round table discussion.
Exactly.
Yes. So that what they need, they can actually get them. So we represent them on that platform.
On your 3 core mandates, you mentioned academics.
Yes.
I want to know how you go about that, because yesterday someone was on my show and he made mention of a mass failure of nurses failing their licensure exams. So how do you guys go about it?
I will advise we choose our words carefully when you say mass.
I'm quoting, so if I stand to be corrected.
All right.
I'm just reproducing the information one of your colleagues produced.
No problem. But then, if you say mass, it means that you have some kind of data backing the mass that you are saying. What I will say is that there is some level of failing. Yes, and members have reverted that concern to us, and we didn't sleep on the issue. Actually, we made a courtesy call to the office of the NMC, the regulating body of nursing practice. They issue license. So we went to their doorsteps to ascertain some of the happenings. Is it the students that are not doing something right that is amounting to this or that level of failing? Or probably there is something that the teachers must know so that they will imbibe in their students going forward, so that we pass those exams. Because trust me, we need the nurses more in our various set facilities. So if we go through the training and at the licensing level we are having issues, it's a cause to worry. So we made that call, and I think we are still negotiating, we are still dialoguing. As I said earlier, we believe in dialoguing, we believe in roundtable discussion, and it's the best thing to do. If you are a union, you are an association, you are student front, dialogue is the best. So we are still engaging, and trust me, few months ahead of us, or few weeks, you hear something from us. Yes.
I'm waiting on it, because I find it quite disturbing that someone will pass through, is it 3 years or?
Yes, we have a 2-year program, a 3-year program.
So basically 3. You go through a 3-year program, you pass through all the years, you go for your practicals. I know that when you vacate, you have clinicals.
Sure.
Then you pass all these examinations. Then what is wrong? What happened at the, licensing exam? What happened? Is it the students? Is it the teachers? Is it that the examinations are above the standards that they are supposed to be set? So I'll gladly wait and patiently cross my fingers to hear something good about that. Secretary, you want to add something to it? I know I can see the way you are blabbing. Yes. So let me hear.
Okay, I personally have a problem with NMC exams conduct.
Okay.
In terms of how the release results, we know exams as it is. We have formalities we follow. In terms of release, we have ways that we release the results.
Okay.
At least the students and then the tutors as a whole should be enlightened on how the exams is conducted. Maybe the score mark, if you get 50 and above, it's a pass. If you get 60 and above, it's a credit, or something like that. But in our case, something of that nature have not been shown to us. So even we had a lot of complaints from our students, but what is preventing us from really knowing the cause of the failure is that we don't know what marks qualifies you as a pass, or what will grant you the license to practice. I think in our approach to know whether NMC have a cutoff point, how they grade us, whether they have a system of that nature or not, were denied of that information. So even if a student wants to call for remarking, he don't know whether the mark for passing is 60 or what.
70 or something.
So they should at least open it up. If you get 50, you have passed. And then I will access myself. I wrote the exams. as to whether what I kept on the paper, I will be able to cross 50 or not, so that I will decide on my part to what, go for remarking or not. If I access myself and I get to know that per what I wrote, I will not be able to cross a 50, then I'll advise myself and go for a sit. But as it stands, we don't even know the cross, the mark for what pass. So if should I go for remarking, they can, and then it is that they re-access and then I happens to get 70. They can decide to say the pass mark is 80, and then I have failed. So I think it is a lapse on their part, and then they should at least take a second look
But
at
why
it.
hasn't this issue been raised ever? I've never heard of this.
Yes,
it looks like it's only the law students who people find them to be rebellious, you know, always chasing after opening their reforms. So why hasn't this issue been raised?
I think we need to engage more, we need to dialogue more.
Okay.
You understand? The profession itself is a noble profession, as it is called. So if you are taking certain decisions, you should streamline your actions.
Yeah.
That notwithstanding, it shouldn't prevent us from probing and asking relevant questions pertaining to our training and our education as far as the nursing department is concerned. So I think we need to engage more, we need to dialogue more, we need to have some of these roundtable discussions more often. And trust me, if we are able to do that, we will achieve results, and it will be good for the association, it will be good for trainees and all that. That is it. Okay.
So if you are watching, you can send your messages coming in on 0260-846539, 0260-846539, and then I'll do my best to read them. If you are also watching live on Facebook, you can leave your comments there. In about some time, would allow you to call in and share your experiences with us. Do you have a sister who is midwifery trained but is still in the house? I know that in Ghana we need a lot of midwives. Nurses and midwives, they give and they take life. So I believe their issues should be on like #1 on our priority list. So Mr. President, let me come back to you.
All right.
Your allowances, I have been made to believe that they have been restored. But on grounds, you are the people who are there, you are the people who are experiencing it. Tell us, have your allowances been restored?
Let me say that on the issue of the allowance, I will sit here and praise my former boss, His Excellency Batia Semula Santi, and his administration for fighting for the realization of what we are enjoying today as trainees, because they did well during their time, and we owe him that much gratitude. Yes, it has been restored, and I think in 2017, and it was launched heavily with public view and all that. It was made that yes, it has been restored, and since that time, the payment has been forthcoming. Although sometimes it would delay for a whole semester. You know, they pay it quarterly, semester basis, and a semester we spend like 3 months or four, close to 4 months. Yes. So 2017-2018 batch, they are done with the payment, and that's academic year. The thing is that the whole issue is that in every academic year they are paying 10 months.
Let me kindly take these words back. I mean, nurses don't take lives. They only give life to people who need help. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, they give assistance. But if they do not have the right equipment and the sound mind, then mistakes do happen. That is what I'm trying to put across. So let's go.
All right. So from 2017-2018 academic year, in every academic year, the policy was that they are going to pay 10 months in every academic year. In a year you have 12 months, but then they are paying 10 months in a academic year. So 2017-2018, the payment has been forthcoming. They've paid. 2018-2019, they also paid that amount. We are in 2019-2020 academic year, and that is where we currently have issues. Present, as we talk, we have first quarter of that payment not affected, and trainees are very worried.
But we are in January.
Yes. What happens is that we are in January 2020, but the academic year started 2019 in September. Okay. You understand? August, September. So 2019-2020 academic year. The first quarter of 2019, from August till date, that quarter payment that
hasn't been made.
Yes, that hasn't been made. So that is what is there. And we have the other academic years. Some of them have not also tasted the allowance due to technical issues. Maybe their issues cards will not be working and all that, and they will present fake numbers by mistake or by error. So they are also suffering in that regard. So apart from that, we will say that it has been forthcoming. But then I think they should put in place systems to check some of these things, the delay unduly, because it's very worrying. Some of us, we will say that the allowance has been very helpful. The allowance has been very helpful. I will not sit here and say that they should cancel allowance. No. Allowance is very good because, one, as a student, you do research. If you get to your third year, you do research. Then even on a semester basis, you go for clinicals. You don't get the chance to, if your mom is a farmer, your mom sells tomatoes or whatever, you don't get a chance to help her to raise that kind of amount and money to pay your nurse fees. So this allowance is augmenting a lot.
It's like it bridges.
Yes, it's helping. It's augmenting it's helping with the finances. Yes, and I think it's a good policy. This allowance has been there since time immemorial. If you talk to old people who have been in the profession, they will tell you that even at that time, they were receiving it through Controller and Accountant General Department. And fortunately, a government came and it was curtailed. And that's the issue. I will say that the politics that we bring in our health system is not working. Both parties. We should have a lead way as to what we want as a country. Is the allowance good? Is it serving the purpose that it should serve? If that's the case, let's give it to them. But then, let's make provisions so that also when they finish, they get jobs. These are just some of the things that we are campaigning for. You understand? Yes.
Your secretary has been smiling all through the allowance talk. So do you have anything to add? Because right after the allowance, I want to find out from you, do you think that the government does not have, or the nation does not have a policy, we don't have a national policy for nurses? Because it's quite unfortunate that every year nurses have to picket, you have to demonstrate after you have gone through school. Why don't you demonstrate before they allow you to go to school? But you have to demonstrate when you have gained the required, equipment or knowledge to come and help people outside. You have to picket before you are put out there to go and work. So let's talk about the allowances, then we'll come back to you, Mr. President.
Okay. Actually, Mr. President, I've said everything about the allowance, but there is an area of the allowance issue I have a concern.
Okay.
And that has to do with the bonding. Per records and what is best known to me, whenever you are taking allowance, it means you are bonded.
Okay.
So after maybe training, you are posted to work. That is how it used to be. But the whole, everything has turned to be a different thing. So when I heard about the allowance restored, all my mind said was that maybe after we received the allowance, automatically we would have filled the bond what form.
Okay.
Which will allow us to what? To practice or be given immediate employment as it used to be. I think the bond was taken off together with the allowance. And then when we made some approaches to some personalities, that is what we were told. Under normal circumstances, governments would have added the bond to the allowance.
The allowance, okay.
But now we have allowance without the bond. And then it means that when we complete school without the bond, you cannot force government to employ you.
Okay.
But if the bond was there in addition to the allowance, we could have at least asked them using that one as a point. You have bonded us and you have every right to employ us. But now there's no bond. When you go to government to ask about employment, he says, you have not bonded you. You are free to go wherever you want to go. So if you look at the allowance for it to serve its purposes, it means the bond should be added to the allowance.
Okay.
But under normal circumstances, as President said, the allowance is really helping us because we don't get chances to travel as other trainees do. We, after school, we go to the clinical, and we don't even get time to travel to work for any money to support yourself. So the allowance is something that is so supportive to 20 nurses and midwives, and then I really appreciate the effort. But government should put in an effort to add the bond, so that after training we get at least employed.
It's like the bond is like you have a contract with him. Okay.
But now that the bond is not there, you can go to him and he tells you
he doesn't have any deal with
yes,
you.
You can go to wherever that you go to get work. And that is what is currently happening to our seniors. And I think they even have a demonstration to embark on 6 days to, is it 28th? Yes.
There's another demonstration coming on.
Yes, that is 2017 batch.
2018.
2017
okay.
batch. Both NAP and NAC. Then the diploma batch.
Wow, I think I'll come back to that issue. It's wow. So let's talk about this. Is it that I'm just dumbfounded because there was a demonstration on Monday, if I'm right.
Monday.
Was it on Monday?
There's
been a demonstration recently.
That should be the rotational.
Oh, I have limited knowledge on that.
Okay. It was on Monday. I was on my way, and then I was listening to people talk on radio about it. So, and there's another one coming on 28th.
Yes.
So, Mr. President, is it that the nation doesn't have a national policy for nurses and midwives? Or I just don't understand. You have to pick it, you have to demonstrate after you've gone through education to come and help people.
I love that aspect of the conversation. It's very critical that we look at it. World Health Organization is saying that for a country that wants to achieve universal health coverage, and for that matter, fighting towards achieving sustainable development goals, especially the three, that's the health for all, they are prescribing that as a country, you should have a nurse to patient ratio of 1:5.
1:5.
Yes, so if you're a nurse, you should be taking care of 5 patients. As it stands currently in Ghana, our record says that the ratio we are experiencing now is 1:18.
I believe that even on grounds, it would be above the 18.
Yes, this is just statistics, and day in day out, people are being born and all that, so they add up to the population that you have to take care of and all that. So the question is, if we have a nurse to patient ratio of 1:18, and we have a recommended of 1:5, then it means and tells you that we have a long way to go, and we need more of these nurses and midwives at the health facilities and at the various hospitals. Now, the question is, what is the way forward? Because looking at this ratio, which tells you that we need more of these nurses and midwives at the ward, it means that, one, we should train more of these nurses to fill the vacancies.
Yeah.
2, employ these nurses to fill the vacancies. Now let's ask ourselves, do we have the nurses there who are ready to fill the vacancies to make up for the gap between 1:18 ratio as against 1:5? The question is yes. As we speak now, we have 2017 batch of nurses and midwives in the house, trained from public institutions.
But you are talking about they filling the vacancies. My question to you is, are the vacancies there?
Oh, but if you have a ratio of 1:18, it tells you that we need the nurses. Is that not so?
That's so.
Yes. So if we need the nurses, definitely they should be posted to work. You understand? Look, if you go to the various health facilities, people might say that it is choked, but trust me, the nurses, they need them. Some hospitals don't even have that number of nurses that is required. You get my point?
Yeah. Approximately, what is the number that a hospital needs?
For now, I can't exactly tell you what.
What's the exact number, like estimatingly?
That is what I'm saying, per the records, that one
nurse is to 5 patients. Okay.
One nurse should take care of 5 patients.
Okay.
But as it stands now, a nurse is taking care of 18 patients. And this record was captured from the current situation we have and from our various health facilities. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
It means that if more nurses are employed, that ratio will reduce.
Yeah.
Exactly what we are saying. And now, the nurses are there. we have the 2017 batch who are in the house. The 2017 batch, we have the NAC and NAP, the National Assistant Clinical and the National Assistant Preventive from the 2017 batch. And we also have the diploma group of the 2017 batch. We also have the 2018 batch, the National Assistant Clinical and the National Assistant Preventive, the NAC and NAP. Also in the house. The 2018 diploma batch are doing their rotation. And they will soon be added on to the backlog. 2019, we have also completed, and we will start our rotation soon. And after rotation, we will also be added on to the increasing backlog. So the question is, where are we going as a country? Like we actually asked, do you have to picket every year? Do you have to demonstrate every year? So that the government or whoever get you job, post you to the various hospitals that needs your service? That's a bigger question, and that is why we are campaigning or pushing for this agenda, where whether MPP or NDC, let's put aside our political egos, political interests, and what we want to achieve as a political party, and sit down with stakeholders, engage them on non-partisan basis. Okay, as a country, this is our deficit, this is our gap, and this is where we want to go in the next year, in the next 2 years. So what are we doing? Should we train nurses this number this year so that we put them here? Or what's the way forward?
You are going on to the solutions. I don't want us to rush into the solutions. I just want us to know, in your view, from what you have said, you've made mention that you believe there's no national policy. So when this government comes into power, he takes the health sector and then he plays with it. He does, just like your press release says,
sure,
chaskele.
Yes, yes.
You think that the political parties are playing chaskele with? For those of you who don't know chaskele, I would have a private interview on chaskele and then I'll share it with you. So, Mr. Secretary, do you also agree with your president that we don't have a national policy? Like, there's nothing that is stating that once a nursing student has graduated, he or she should be posted. Once a midwifery student has graduated or has passed, he or she has to be posted. You believe that there's nothing like a national policy for that?
Yes, certainly. That is where I talked about the bone.
Yeah.
And then the policies the political parties do bring. I want to believe, or pardon me to say that, they are based on winning power. Because if should part A bring this and then party B comes and it doesn't work, it is not what sustainable. So both parties should aim at bringing policies that any government that comes will continue. As I was talking about the bond, per records or what I have seen before, or let's say from the other party, that is the opposition party, the NDC, they are saying, they are of the view that when they are voted into power, they will bring the bond.
Okay.
So you see, it's not stable. So as the reason why we are suffering is that we don't have a stable policy whereby this should be applied to nurses. It's either whether part A or B is in power, nurses are entitled to this and they should be given that. And then as you were asking about the reason why we are suffering, is it that there are no vacancies for us to be filled, or is it that they have low resources to what to cater for us? I want to believe, per the records we have, 1 nurse to 18 patients is a clear indication that we need more nurses. But then the government should come out clearly and state or say that they don't have resources to cater for the nurses. But they shouldn't be on the point that there are more nurses, because the information has indicated that we have fallen below standard, and then we need to fill that in order to achieve the goal stated in the 3. So what we want government to do is that it should clearly state policies. If it is policy A, nurses and midwives should enjoy this, they should be posted immediately after their training, because our work is like that. You are not supposed to sit home idly. because it is a skill. And then the skill can be taken off if you are not employed or if you don't practice. So it should be a standard policy, whether NDC is in power or NPP, nurses, they should do what train. I want to suggest on my own idea that if they think per what they said, nurses, we are enough in the system, the best is to what? To stop training. Because if I'm trained and then I'm allowed, and I'm not allowed to practice, allowed to be in the house, the skill will be taken away. And even by the time I'll be given employment, I might fall below standard and I cannot help in the health delivery. You see that? So our profession is such that immediate after training, you should be given the work to do, or else the skill will be taken away.
The skill will be taken away. So
yes.
I am going to take a quick breather. When I come back, I would ask the president, so now what do you want the government to do for you people? Like, what are you looking forward to from the government? So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Your career is a ladder that leads you all the way to the top. Practically, all your dreams and aspirations of getting into management or even becoming a successful entrepreneur are hinged on your career success. Today, universities and colleges are churning out yearly more and more graduates just like you, all of whom are going to compete in the same industries for the same jobs. This means more graduates stepping over each other for fewer jobs. The good news? The right education can make you more employable in a job market that is increasingly competitive. You can stand out amongst your peers with a Blue Crest education, an education that understands the needs and challenges of the job market and prepares you ahead through progressive and inclusive learning. Our students are given the creative freedom that encourages personal development and are offered on-field opportunities for professional growth. Acquiring a Blue Crest education means being guided to identify and pursue your interest in fashion, ICT, business and journalism, and using the skills acquired in the course of learning to prepare yourself for life. Don't be indifferent to your education. Your career depends on it. Enroll at Blue Crest College today. Visit www.bluecrest.edu.gh. Today, we can't trust sources of water anymore. Confidence is gone due to human activities. Same human activities introduces well-mechanized machines which purifies water. I bring to you ultimate natural mineral water. Deep from underground, tasty, well-purified and corporately packaged. Ultimate natural mineral water. Let's drink the new. For bulk, call 020-379-1888 or 0244-515-801. Ultimate natural mineral water. My water, your water, our water.
From that break, this is Youth Empowerment Television Show, and today my spotlight has located nurses, trained nurses and midwives who are still at home, and there's a demonstration that would happen on the 28th. I'll be talking more about that, but there are so many messages that have come in. Let me read some quickly, and then we'll go on to that. My name is Jessica, a student midwife. Please ask him for me why the indexing has been a headache for us, because the link for the indexing has a problem on its own. Okay, Mr. President, I'll come back to you so that you talk about the indexing. Please tell government that how they normally pay allowances, we are not happy at all. How can they allow us to suffer like that? If they should have if they should have even hold 1 month of their salary, how would they feel? This is from Mr. Red. I guess Mr. Red is very red this afternoon, and God have mercy. Good afternoon to you guys. I'm Samienchi. Watching you live from Apoa in Takrade. Big shout out to my special president for giving us clarifications on some of these NMC issues. Please, I want to inquire about the position of private nurses. Thank you. Good afternoon, Abna. I'm Augustine. Is it tag president? I am with you. Move higher. Okay. Wow, this is a long message. It's just like the press release of the training association, the nurses training association. It's 4 pages and it even has to be continued. So you can see that these people are really serious and they mean business. This person says, good afternoon. I am a trainee nurse and I would like you to ask the president for me why he didn't mention they went to the NMC and they didn't give any tangible reasons for the mass failure. And all there is for those who trailed to reset or come for remarking. Also, some concerned members wanted to demonstrate and he, the president, spoke against it. The secretary was trying to bring it up. The past executives drew a program to, 1, write a letter to NMC, 2, petition NMC, and then a press conference follows for demonstration. As it stands now, the first 2 have been done, but press conferences is still holding up. Please ask the president why. I'm Tony from Barrier. In the first place, I don't think all the nurses at home are telling us the truth about not being posted. Some failed. Oh, you are so mean. I mean, in this generation, nurses have become an option for SHS graduates with bad grades at home. And when they are fortunate to gain admission and graduate, they have no love nor respect for the profession. Make nursing profession great again, with exclamation signs of about 5. Nice. Mr. President, there are a couple of questions that people have raised towards you. There's a calendar for you to do certain things and you haven't done.
With regards to the roadmap for the NMC issue, as he rightly said, we share in their plight. If you will enroll in nursing school, spend 3 years for you to write licensing exams, and you have an issue with regards to passing a particular subject, 1 or 2, it's a worry. And as an association, as I told you earlier, who concerns itself with the academics of its members, it's a priority. It's a #1 priority on our list. But then again, I'll be frank on issues. Okay, leader. If you're a leader, you stick your neck to do what is right for the association.
Okay, so if you want to call, I've seen that people are calling the text line. Please don't call the text line. The call line would be on the screen. So if you want to call, you pick the number on the screen, then you kindly call in. Yeah,
yes, as a leader, you put measures in place. And trust me, you don't work alone.
Yeah.
You work as a board. The National Executive Board of the association, they have protocol or procedures that they act. With the issue of the NMC extent of failing has been described. Yes, it came onto our table. And when it came onto our table, we realized that yes, we needed to take an action. So we came up with a roadmap that will help us to achieve our aim. Our aim was to draw the attention of the NMC to the fact that there has been some level of failing and something must be done about it.
Yeah.
As I said earlier on, is it that the students are not doing something as expected of them in terms of answering questions or understanding the questions? Or the fault is from teachers as they don't know what they should be teaching the students, which I believe they know very well. Or is the problem coming from NMC? All these issues, you cannot just sit
and demonstrate to show that.
And just conclude. As I said, you need to dialogue more. As we speak now, tell me, ask me, what is the data on the number of percentage that failed? I cannot give you, because as we started engaging the NMC, that aspect of it has been lacking with some reasons that we are still engaging to get. So if you are towing that line, oh, our members have failed, so this and that, after demonstration, what next? If you demonstrate that you have failed, what next? But then I believe that if we pass through bureaucratic procedure. Even if you don't achieve the result today, tomorrow, those coming will benefit from it. So my dear trainee who sent that message, yes, we understand your frustrations and your anger. But then, as I speak to you, things are in order. I think from this evening going, there will be a form out for them to actually give us the feedback.
Yes, please.
Okay, we have a caller. Hi, good afternoon. Hello. Yeah, good afternoon, sir. You are on Pan African TV. I can hear you.
Okay. I can promise from family nursing training.
Okay, can promise. Let's hear from you.
Please, I'm saying that we should urge. We are urging with our president to help us talk to our excellency that please, we are only school fees. Please, you should help us pay us allowance. We beg.
Okay, I believe that because of your name alone, the president will hear you. Can promise he will definitely hear. So, Mr. President,
yes.
Before I come back to the secretary, no, let me come to the secretary because he is more concerned about the demonstration, and I'm particularly interested in it. So, on 28th, what is the reason for this demonstration too?
The demonstration is a chipping. We are not actually organizing it, but it's
which people are organizing
our
it?
seniors, the 2017 batch.
Okay.
That's Diplomat and NAP and NAC. They are fighting for employment.
Okay.
So it's a crossover we are bringing in. Let's say what we are discussing now, what it has led to.
Yeah.
It is because of these irregularities that has led them to
demonstrate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't actually have the content.
I'm not even, wanting to know the contents, but I'm just concerned that these people are unemployed, trained nurses who are going out on demonstration because they have not gotten the employment that they deserve.
Yes,
that's basically what's happening.
Yes, please.
Okay, so now let's move on to what is the way forward. What do you expect from governments? Like, you don't want this party A to come in power and then throw you here, and party B comes in power and throw you there. What are you suggesting? What are you putting to? Okay, we have a caller. When we come back, we'll come and talk about that. Hi, good afternoon. Hello. Okay, I think the person's line is bad, so if my producer could take her off for me. So, Mr. President, what is the way forward?
Yes, I'll come to the way forward, but let me conclude on the NMC issue. Yeah, so this evening, I think a form will come. The board has worked on something to collate data on the number of students who actually failed, to give us the extent of the failing, so that going forward, our engagement with NMC will be concrete, so that if you have the data, we could speak on facts. Just not just on hearsays, and we are determined to fight that battle to the latter. Now, let's come to the way forward.
And let me come in with the NMC aspect.
You want to say something?
Yes, the guy have a concern because we really visited the council when the complaints came, and then we weren't given any valid information. That is why he said we are trying to at least cover that part. But all we want him to know is that we are still on the issue.
Okay.
But it is a process we have to follow. What we are looking for is results, but not just to follow the issue. So we are on track, and then the form will come out in the evening. So their response to the form will determine our next line of action. We have not rested on the issue. We are working on it.
Okay. You have not rested. So let's see the way forward. What do you want? And why do you even say they are playing Chaskele with you people?
I lived in a village. I lived in a village, and around August, September, if you are a fisherman, by that time there is fish in abundance. You understand? And if you are a farmer, by that time maize is also in the system. We used to play this game called Chaskele.
We have a caller. Hi, good afternoon. I think today my line is not helping me, but I would read the messages. So let's get on. Okay, he's still here. Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Please, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. What about you? Okay. I think I've lost you. Sorry, sweetheart. Kindly just call back in. If you are still on the line, just speak up so that I can hear you.
Now, correct. What I want to say is that, in fact, menstruating and women, they have their right to demonstrate or to come out with their plight and worry. But my point is that if things are 2017 batch, we are going on demonstration and all that, the question we should be asking ourselves, I remember somebody said that most of them also feel, but they don't tell us the truth. So they should let us know. They should tell us who feels and what is preventing them. Because we were in this country where some people, people came and we prevented these same trainings not to be recruited from 2013 to 2016. And we did not see any kind of motivation and all that. So we should be consistent and also people that will stop the hypocrisy. You should move forward as a country. But you should come and tell us that most of them are still so far to go.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for calling in. So let's move on, Mr. President. Some have failed, some don't want to add. But I mean, Mr. Man, you don't think that if I have failed, I'll come and tell my parents that I have failed. I'll definitely just keep it to myself and then work on it behind the scenes. But let's move on.
I don't really get the failing part. If you have failed, I don't think you'll be added on to those who have qualified and they are seeking for employment.
No,
so
someone sent a message that some of the trained nurses who are complaining have failed and then they are not working on it.
Oh, no,
they
no.
are demonstrating.
No.
It's just a comment.
Yes.
Okay,
if you have failed,
we have a
all
caller.
right.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Please, your name and where you're calling from, sir.
Okay, I'm Emmanuel, calling from Kumasi.
Okay, Ima, let's hear from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Focus.
Okay, Ima, let's hear from you.
Okay, I want to thank our President and Secretary for their good way of doing for us.
Okay.
And we want to send a message to the President of Ghana.
Okay.
That we are pleading with him. If we take our clinical, we are not easy. Issue.
Okay. Today my line is it's a little bit bad. I do apologize to my viewers, but I think his comment has been made clear. But I believe we should stop pleading with the government. We gave them the power. We should ask, or we should demand, we should put it to them because we gave them that power to rule over us. So they are responsible to us. They should be questioned. So, Mr. President, they will not let us move on. Let's move on to the way forward.
Yes. What is the way forward? That's an interesting aspect of the conversation.
Yeah.
I think that in the press statement, we give some suggestions. Now, the two parties, the giant political parties, MPP and NDC, they are doing well. I won't sit here and say that they are not trying. They are doing well with their policies, whether MPP or NDC, with regards to the health system.
Okay. Hi. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, your name and where you're calling from.
Please, I'm calling from Kumasi.
Okay, let me hear from you, sweetheart. I would appreciate it if you could let us talk through your phone, not listen to me on the TV. Okay, I think she's already off the line. So, Mr. President, let's go on.
Yeah, so as I was saying, I think that all that they are doing, they should bridge their ideas together. Okay, they should bridge their ideas together because MPP have good ideas when it comes to what they want to do with nurses. NDC also have good ideas because one will say that the allowance is very helpful. Some statesman came and he cancelled the allowance. You understand? Believing that no, let me focus on providing infrastructure, building hospitals and all that, so that you get employment. I will employ you so that you work at those facilities. That is their policy as a political party. Now, the other end also says that the student need this allowance, and it's true. The student need the allowance. As I said earlier, the allowance is very helpful. personally, for not the allowance, I don't know where I would be. I don't even know if I could make it through training college. You understand?
Yeah.
So it is important. So if A is saying he will provide A and it is important to the trainees, B is also saying that he will provide B and it is important for trainees. Why don't we bridge the two and know what we want as a country and go for it? Because at the end of the day, Ghana must survive. Ghana must move on.
Yeah.
You understand? And Ghana first. So all that we are trying to say is that all the interventions that they have brought up is geared towards them winning the next election for 4 years or 8 years. And after that, how sustainable is that one? With the issue of the allowance, let me ask you, God forbid, if MPP should lose and NDC should come to power, what is the state of the student allowance?
We'll go back to student loan.
You understand? Now, if MPP2 will still be in power,
There will be no infrastructure.
Yes, the other one I was trying to put across. It means that we need the two ideas. And as a nation, it's about time we sit down, engage stakeholders, Ministry of Health, the NMC, National Military Council of Ghana, the Conference of Health, Heads of Health Training Institution, that's COHETI, all the principals in Ghana, in the various training colleges, their conference, they have a conference. Okay. I think stakeholders, okay, they should engage them, engage the students also on non-partisan basis, so that we get a clear-cut policy. As a country, this is what we want.
Not for one particular
party. Because if I'm in power, and if I come to power and I think that your policy, if I don't buy into it, I'll boycott it.
That's true.
And that is what has led us to where we are now.
I'll come back to the secretary to also give us what he thinks should be the way forward. But let me read some of your messages. I'm Emmanuel, a student nurse, watching you live from Ebuakwa, Kumasi. Ask the president, what are they doing about our allowance? It's not easy with this our clinical practical at all. We need support. Drop our alawa now. Okay, that's what he has hashtagged. Let me read. This person says, okay. My name is Godfred from Ebuakwa. If they think there are, okay, please stop calling this line so I can read your messages. If they think there are more nurses in the system, then they should stop training and money without a proper outcome. Don't worry, we are in election year, we shall see. Oh, this is a threat. Good afternoon. I would like to ask the president if taking student loans in place of allowance in order to get bonding and automatic posting will be a good option for us, because I don't want to stay at home for years after school. This is Esther from Okiase. Esther, okay. Hi, I'm Dorcas from SDA NMTC as Asanta.
Yes.
Yeah, Bini, we are proud of you. Okay. Hi, nurses and midwives who completed service in 2016 are still home. Wow. And not being posted. Those doing their rotation now too have not been paid since they started the service in April.
Yes, I'll talk about that one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm Darius from Takwa. Nurses are complaining of their delay in our allowance. What of us in the university? What should we do then? We have no hope of getting money anywhere. Our only hope is the student loan fund. Even that comes with high interest. I believe that is a matter of choice. And well, anyways, we understand your. This is Felix Owusu from Tamale NTC. In fact, we don't have anything on us. So we are still owing school fees, so we are pleading with the president. This is Daniel. Please talk about our posting. Okay, 2017 never got allowance. Why should we stay home for 3 years? It's very serious. He repeats, why should we stay home for 3 years? It's very serious. That is Jacob. Is it Jacob? Hi, please, I want to know if the 2020 final years will be writing the online examination. Please, the allowance is delayed, you know. Okay. Okay, so our time is almost up and then we are concluding. Let me take what you think should be the way forward. Suggest to the government.
Okay. To me, my projections to the government concerning the issues at hand is that they should have a laid down protocol or policies that should be embarked on, as the president suggested. It is time the stakeholders come together to see what is best for what nurses, because our value has been taken as compared to the olden days.
Okay.
So if they really want to bring back that value that has been taken, then a single person cannot decide what is best as a party, as he spoke about.
Yeah.
Then they should come together, see what is best for nurses, state it as it is. Whichever government comes, we enjoy the same what or similar benefits. As the allowance we are talking about or complaining, should NDC come into power, we are doubtful as to whether they will even get the allowance or not, which shouldn't be the case. If government is bringing in a policy that is affecting training nurses, then it should be something that should stay, not something that should be taken off should a government or a different government comes into power. So I suggest our stakeholders should come together, see what is best. They know what is best for us. Sometimes they don't want to do it, and then it is due to lack of resources or whatsoever. As a person suggested, if they think there are more nurses, the best is to stop the training for some time. So I suggest they should come together and see what is best, and then take agree on something.
Okay. Our time is almost up, so Mr. President, you conclude for us.
Yes, we need to engage more seriously as trainees. We should be open-minded. As student nurses and midwives, we should be open-minded. Okay, we should be open-minded to these politicians, because it's our time. We have to come together as an association and demand what is rightfully ours, and do so in the right direction, so that at the end of the day, even if we are sacrificing something, maybe allowance or whatsoever, we know that tomorrow we have a better resource, and the training that we are receiving will not be in vain. That is our prayer, and that is what we want to achieve. So they should engage. The politicians should engage, and I think the leaders, we are also engaging. We need.
You are doing your best.
Yes,
and that is what we can do at this point.
Yes.
So let me read some of the messages, then we can go because our time is up. So good afternoon. Please, when people are criticizing nurses, they should have it in mind that there are still nurses who are passionate about the work they do. Some nurses are sacrificing so much for the well-being of their patients. They should also have it in mind that there are bad people in every profession. Okay, so there's so many messages. I wish I could read all of them, but my time is up. I'd have to go and make way for the next program. So if I couldn't read your message, I sincerely apologize, and I hope that as we are criticizing the government, we are commending them on the allowances being restored and stuff. As we are criticizing them, I hope that our trained nurses or our trainees would also study to meet up the standards.
Sure.
Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. My name is Abna Bruni. When you say a prayer, you kindly say some for me. Dala, good afternoon to you. Enjoy the rest of your day.